Panama, Shalimar, Swanee Shore. Let me dig that jive once more. Boy, oh boy.
Welcome back, sixth graders. Today is week 7, Thursday, May 21st, and we're continuing to learn about World War II. So our topic today is the home front, and you have a choice. Now, winning World War II needed soldiers to fight, but it also needed people back in the U.S. to contribute to the war effort, and these folks were in what's called the home front, like the duck. So 300,000 Minnesotans served in the military during World War II, very important part of winning a war, but also another important part was the home front, and a great deal was needed from civilians or non-military who provide equipment, food, and technology. And many of these people contributed from our great state, Minnesota. Here are choices you can make for answering today's question. Just answer one. So topic is either war work, manufacturing, agriculture, iron ore and timber, making sacrifices, more ways to pitch in, and an unusual role for, wait for it, people opposed to the war. First one is war work. So what types of supplies did the U.S. need for civilians to make? And what was it like to work in these places? Here you have a picture of our president meeting a woman working at the Twin Cities Ordnance Plant. Here's another ordnance plant worker collecting bullets and packing them. Now here's Maple Grove Middle School over in this place. About 10 miles east of here is this area called the Twin Cities Ordnance, and it's a giant tract of land, which is where our government manufactured bullets and other ammunition. And you can use your map and zoom in on it. Most of it is cleared away, and now they're trying to reclaim it for civilian use. Next one, manufacturing. So list 4 items Minnesota companies made for the war and what they were used for. Here's something you might have seen maybe in the grocery store. And then what is this thing right there? There are some specific things that were built in Minnesota just for the war. So learn about that on page 1611. Agriculture. So describe 4 ways Minnesota increased production of farming during World War II. There was a problem. A lot of young men, farmers, were sent to the war front. So who's going to take care of the farm? So there were some solutions for this. Iron ore and timber. How did World War II affect Minnesota's iron ore and timber industries? List at least 4 items these resources were used to build. Find that on page 1613. Next, making sacrifices. So what was rationing? How did it work? Do you agree or disagree with it? Should we do it today during our COVID-19 pandemic? Here you have some primary sources of war ration books. And here you have these stamps or tickets that are used for making purchases. And it was something that everybody had to do. So you can learn about these ration books and how rationing was used. Another thing, more ways to pitch in on pages 16, 15, and 16. So list 5 ways Americans made sacrifices to help win the war, and which would be most useful today. This is an image of a victory garden. They've even talked about that in recent times in the last couple months. Some people are trying to grow their own victory gardens right now. Here you see some kids chucking some items into this pile. What's that going to be used for? Here's a bumper sticker you might see, or a sign that says "Ride alone and Hitler likes it." Share your car and give him a jar. Here you see a picture of a foot kicking Hitler in the backside. And the idea is if you're riding in a car all by yourself, you're using more fuel than if you could share the ride with other people. So the idea was find ways to save resources to put toward the war effort. An unusual role for people who oppose the war. So who is a conscientious objector? And if you refuse to fight, how could you help the war effort? Here's a picture of what people did if they refused to fight on page 1616. So once again, here are your topics. You're going to choose one of them and answer the question right here. So you're going to need to look at the question on this page so you know what to answer. I'm not listing them in the assignment. They're all right here. And the assignment looks like this at the bottom. So World War II home front choices. And again, look at this duck. Isn't it amazing? For all we hold dear, buy war bonds. So hey, everybody, have a great day. Another propaganda from World War II, do less so they'll have enough. Rationing gives you your fair share. All right, everybody, why don't you all do your fair share and enjoy your nice cup of coffee. See everybody. Bye.